This is Al Jazeera. Adrian Finnegan here in Doha with a news hour with coverage of the most intense exchange of fire between Israel and Palestinian armed groups in years. An Israeli airstrike has hit a residential tower in Gaza City. The army says that it informed residents of Hanadi Tower to evacuate before it was targeted. Gaza's health ministry says that at least 28 Palestinians have been killed across the strip in the past day. After the Israeli airstrike on that building, the military wing of Hamas said that it would respond with a barrage of rockets which would target Tel Aviv. That appears to be underway right now. Al Jazeera's Harry Fawcett is live for us in southern Israel. Harry, you're safe to talk to us now.
Yes, that immediate barrage of Iron Dome interceptors that we just saw and had to interrupt our live a few minutes ago is now over. But just to bring you up to date from what we've seen here, it was an exceptionally large barrage of rocket fire coming north out of northern Gaza, heading north at the same time as we were getting alerts on our phones of sirens going off in Tel Aviv, and indeed reports of explosions in the Tel Aviv area. Hamas's military wing had warned the Israelis that there would be a response. They said that Tel Aviv would see something even more powerful than what happened to the city, the nearby city here of Ashkelon. During that period, Hamas says that 137 rockets were fired within 5 minutes. Certainly, there was a lot of rocket fire that got through. 2 women were killed as homes were hit, buildings were hit. Now there seems to be this additional very large barrage heading towards Tel Aviv. And of course, it follows the destruction of that large residential tower inside Gaza. There had been warnings throughout the day that if Israel decided to attack residential buildings, where it had said that it had already attacked Palestinian Islamic Jihad fighters in one apartment building. This building is said to have housed a Hamas office of some kind. Hamas had said that if Israel carried out such attacks, there would be a big escalatory response. So both sides are stepping up what is now an extremely dangerous situation. There is no indication of any efforts towards de-escalation at this moment.
Harry, stay with us just for a second. Let me just bring our viewer up to date with what newswires are saying right now. The Reuters news agency reporting that at least one person has been wounded in a rocket attack on Tel Aviv. They're quoting the Israeli ambulance service. Hamas says that it has fired 130 rockets towards Tel Aviv and its suburbs, and Israel has halted all flights at Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport amid that rocket fire from Gaza. Harry, that earlier barrage of 137 rockets, as you say, managed to evade Israel's Iron Dome system. At least some of the rockets fired from Gaza had got through, with another 130 Hamas saying that it's fired within the last few minutes. I suppose it would be inevitable that some of them would reach their targets towards Tel Aviv.
Yes, I mean, I suppose we should put one caveat on that we are relying on Hamas's own figures in saying that. But yes, the sheer volume of ordnance flying overhead a few minutes ago, even if it doesn't get up to that level, it was a very significant, coordinated, very large barrage all at once. And so there has been some analysis on the Israeli side, military analysts wondering if the sheer swamping of the Iron Dome system by so many targets all at once could have caused the ability for Hamas to get through those defenses to a greater extent than usual. There have also been claims by Hamas that they've used a new form of missile, one that is fired at a more horizontal level trajectory and therefore is harder to track and hit. Also, some reports of malfunctioning Iron Dome system around Ashkelon earlier in the day. However, of course, when we're talking...
It's all through the Spirit of the Lord. This is I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and the sincere Shalom to the brothers out there sincerely pushing this truth, and the shalom to the elect. And as we can clearly see that World War III is coming closer, because every country is having beef with each other at this point, and it's going to get to it's coming to that point where everybody's just going to drop the flag and say fuck it. This is Matthew 24:6. It says, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So we know these wars are going to happen, even inside Babylon. There's going to be wars inside other countries, and then countries going to war with each other. So it'll be nation against nation. This will be the greatest world war where everybody on the face of the earth is getting involved, and that's crazy. So this in itself is telling that not even those fake rats over there is even safe. But we already knew this. Soon, one of these countries is going to start hitting this place. And it's through those elites that there's going to be backbomb. So this will be nothing new, as we've been saying this. We've been saying this for a long time. This is Isaiah 9:19. It says, "Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people should be as fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother." So even through this land, this whole world is darkened, because every nation has to watch their back. I'm sorry, they don't even have to watch their back. They had to ready that button to see if they gotta hit the missiles, because that's what it's boiling down to. And when it's talking about the people shall be as fuel of the fire, that's just not only talking about them being hit with the missiles to be fuel as fire, but you're gonna have a lot of people dying from this. You have people being as the fuel of the fire, meaning that they have ways of inspiring others for this type of stuff. Because you got someone that could be talking to someone inside those missile silos, telling them to go ahead, hit that button. Because, hey, especially in this, let's even scrap that aside. Even going into this society, when it even talks about that no man shall spare his brother, that's even the fuel of the fire. When people going around killing people left and right, we're coming into a time where a lot of stuff is about to get real dark. Like you hear in people conversations where they talk about something, and then somehow, and then out of nowhere, somebody says, "Oh, this conversation got real dark." Well, you're about to see this real dark conversation come to real life, because you not only you have to, in this society, not even just a society, but when it boils down to who's got to survive, you got to watch your back. But to stay on topic with the video, because this all ties hand in hand, because you're gonna see a lot of countries, or just mainly this place, shutting down. You're gonna have world wars. You're gonna have World War III going on, and of course they like to draft people, so this is nothing new. It's gonna be a real huge fight coming upon this place. And that's the crazy. It's very crazy, because we're in the age where where swords, bows and arrows, and daggers are no longer existent. Now we're living in an age where there's guns, bullets, and missiles, grenades, anything that can hit you from long range, and not even just long range, but at a faster, quicker pace of death. We're dealing with something on a whole nother level. We're talking about a missile that can drop down and kill billions in one area. So this is going to be a mass death, a massive destruction. This is Isaiah 13:4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle." So the Lord's going to gather all these nations for their own suicide. Because first of all, it was ordained that the Lord was said so. This was all part of prophecy. And the funny part is, the Lord put the spirit on these devils to make movies about it. And of course, even the Lord put the spirit on them to make it seem like that these devils were going to win, to give them that false hope of confidence, because that's what it is. But that destruction, when the Lord comes back, is going to be on a higher level than what World War III has to offer. So we look forward to this, because that means that we're closer to getting out of this place. This is the time where things have gotten really uncomfortable. This year has been more so of, I'm gonna keep it respectfully saying so, because I could get a strike for this, but respectfully saying that there's been a lot of people passing from gunshots and other things that's been going on. This is the time where people's pretty much passing on because of everything that's happening. Who knows what's to say about next year? Well, I believe there's, depending on what the Lord has to say, we don't know how long we're gonna be here, but we can only imagine what next year is going to hold. The year after that. So we look forward to these prophecies coming about, because it all takes time. This place is going to fall slowly. It doesn't fall quick. Just like every other empire, every empire fell slowly. As much as we wanted to fall quicker, but even the Lord doesn't even know when He's coming back. But these prophecies has always been proven right, and no one can say anything about it. They'll have their little theories about the here and now, but what happens when the stuff actually happens? You don't hear from these guys ever again. You don't even see them. So we know how this is going to end, or at least have a notion of it. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go into, because to see this, it was a faith booster, really, because we get to see even our own enemies going at each other. Because now not everything is all black and white. We get to see the real color of the picture of this painting. So, Lord, with that, hopefully this is a little bit edifying. So with that, shalom.